Hello and welcome everybody to this edition of Talks with Sato. Today here we are with Atlas. Atlas, how you doing?
Doing pretty well, man. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for coming here. Today we are going to talk about your enterprise that is Creative Network Live, and maybe you can
Cool.
introduce yourself for our audience.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just like a regular Bitcoin maxi, freedom loving guy. We are a design and production studio, and we basically help Bitcoin companies with everything they need regarding creatives or video production or web design or whatever it may be on the creative side. And yeah, we mainly work with Bitcoin companies. That's like our thing.
That was interesting. Well, I think the first question that I want to ask you is where and when born Creative Network Live?
Sorry, what?
Where and when was created Creative Network?
Oh, okay, yeah, it's actually like a great story. I was working at the Bitcoin company. This is a rewards app. That shout out to the Bitcoin company, great app. And I was working under Ben Price, which is the CEO. Was the CEO back then. Is still the CEO. And I started working for him as his like executive assistant. um, and I started like meeting new Bitcoiners and just meeting people in the industry through working with him. And I realized one day that there was like some people that needed help design wise, and that we could provide that service here from Colombia and charge in US dollars to American customers or European customers in euros, whatever, and be able to like pay great wages and like yeah, just make profit as a business, helping companies access to like affordable but like professional design, and there's a lot of demand for that. So yeah, that's what we do now.
Okay, nice. Well, I want to know a little bit. This, I think this could be interesting. How you receive payments with Bitcoin? Do you receive Bitcoin with Segwit, maybe with Lightning, maybe in other chains of Bitcoin?
Yeah, no, we do Lightning. Obviously, we use also like on chain addresses depending on like if it's a big project or the amount of the project. If it's Lightning, can be lower quantities and stuff like that. But yeah, that's pretty much the two payment rails for Bitcoin that we have is on chain and Lightning, and that has been working pretty well for 3 years now. So we hopefully can keep using it. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds great. So maybe I know that one of your customers is Mino, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay, I want to know which other customers in the Bitcoin industry are working with you.
Yeah, for sure. Hopefully, I can say all this stuff. Well, we work with very closely with the Bitcoin mining world people, very cool people. We occasionally still work with the Bitcoin company. We work with Bitcoin Park. Um, I mean, there's so many to mention. I don't know if I should just make a list. Um, Neutron Pay, shout out to Neutron Pay, great guys at Neutron Pay, Bitcoin Rodeo, Coinbeast. I mean, you name it. We've been around for a while, so yeah, we had the pleasure working with many people. Oh, shout out to the Running Dojo guys and the Samurai guys. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
lots,
great. You have
lots.
a lot of Bitcoiners in the industry working with you. I want to know which services are you selling for the Bitcoiners? Maybe web pages, maybe video edition.
Yeah, right. Like, so we mostly helping people with their YouTube channels. So like a lot of YouTube production, podcasts, live shows, just like this one. Also like branding and graphic design for events or just like um, design that you may need for maybe internal documents or just general design. And yeah, like I said, websites. We have redesigned complete apps, um, because we understand like how Bitcoin works, and we are able to like implement good flows for the users so they can interact with Bitcoin in a easy and seamless way. So I think that's a huge thing that we do. And and mainly like I think like our I think there are a lot of like design and production studios, but we are like the only Bitcoin Maxi design and production studio, and I think that's the real difference for us.
Yeah, sounds great. I think you guys are just the unique enterprise that works with Bitcoiners and are just maxi and not receiving things like crypto and other things.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I want to know some personal thoughts on you. So I want to know when you started into Bitcoin.
That was March 2020.
You remember, like, okay, you have a great memory on that.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
why you started in Bitcoin? Was a recommendation from a friend?
Mm, no, it was more a conclusion to a situation. So at that time we were in COVID times, right? Like
Yeah,
COVID was just going crazy and stuff like that. I was just fired from my job at the time, and I had like some money, and I wanted to like save it. It wasn't like a lot of money, so like a lot of things immediately went out the door, like I know buying real estate or buying gold because like retail price is just too high, and I was really concerned that like Colombia was going through a similar situation that Venezuela went through. Uh, so I started like doing research and stuff, and I remember Bitcoin, and I started like researching about Bitcoin. And when I started like researching at that time, uh, it was obvious. I was like, yeah, I'm sold. This is we're putting all of our money here. And yeah, that's so. And to me, that from that point on, I never went back. I became a maxi immediately.
okay, that's nice. I don't know if you saw the HBO documentary about who is Satoshi Nakamoto.
Right? Yeah.
I want to talk with someone about that. Any thoughts on that documentary?
Yeah. I mean, like, I think the normie culture around Bitcoin is like 5 years behind, right? Like 5 years ago, Bitcoiners were still asking. I don't know, 5 years ago, maybe even more. Uh, but a long time ago people were asking like who Satoshi is, and this was like a big thing. Today like nobody cares, like really, like if you're a Bitcoiner that's been around, like nobody cares, nobody wants to know. Everybody thinks is the best that we don't know. And I think like mainstream culture trying to go back to that is like, okay, they're getting into a culture, just they're just like 8 years behind.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much, that's what I think it is. But it's cool. It draws people into Bitcoin. People want to know. It creates a curiosity. Might be a net positive. I don't know.
yeah. It's very interesting because there's in the middle of the documentary that they are talking about the block size wars and then they start talking about maybe Wei Dao, about some interesting Bitcoiners. But what do you think about that? Literally, the documentary man didn't say that it's pure thought, but we know that the
Yeah.
focus at the end of the documentary says that Peter Doll is Satoshi Nakamoto. Do you think maybe Peter Doll could be Satoshi Nakamoto?
Yeah. No. No. No.
Definitely not.
Yeah. No. No. For
You
sure.
didn't have any reason, but you can say that maybe it's another Bitcoiner that maybe appears on that documentary, maybe it's a team or something like that.
I don't think so. Yeah, and to me, I don't know all the facts. I cannot, of course, this is just my opinion, but the thing is, like, that's very anti Satoshi, right? Like, Satoshi would never be public, even after being Satoshi, right? Like, he would remain in the shadows forever.
Yeah,
That's my thoughts. I think is um, way too out of character for Adam Back or Peter or whoever to be Satoshi, because like Satoshi was a pretty unique individual, did a lot of work in the shadows, and for them to then be like a public Bitcoin
yeah,
developer, that would be very out of character in my opinion. Yeah.
yeah. I think that for the Bitcoin maximalists, that was just like fun. having
Yeah.
fun, looking Samson Mao in. I think every time that Samson appears on camera was in a plane, was with the Prince of Serbia, and every time was, for example, with Ricardo Salinas with the Ricci,
Oh, right. Yeah,
uh,
yeah. That's a good guy.
and also every time was walking with Adam Back and trying to say that Adam Back is Toshi Nakamoto, trying to put them into the bucket. But also, Peter does just play with the man and say, "Yeah, I'm Satoshi Nakamoto. Where's that? I'm Satoshi." Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I think
but
that's good.
also,
That's
yeah,
funny.
also maybe the men have one interesting thing that is to talk about the replaced by Fee that magically nobody knows who John Dillon is, and I didn't saw that, but maybe John Dillon is a real guy and just paid for that and just disappear, or maybe have another account into Bitcoin forums or into Bitcoin.
Yeah.
But yeah, you didn't think that I spared Todo or maybe Adam back.
No, no, I don't think so. I don't think so.
So
More, I mean, like back more than Todd, to be honest. But like, I don't think it's neither of them.
yeah, I could say maybe for me it's more Peter Todd than Adam back, because Adam back joined it into Bitcoin like in 2015, and Peter was at the 15 years old making things about coding and cryptography and 20. If he was Satoshi Nakamoto, he created that at 20 years, 22 years old. So maybe he can be, but also the thing that I can say is that Craig Wright is not Satoshi Nakamoto.
Yeah, that's for sure.
that's that's all that I can say. So,
Absolutely.
well, I want to know maybe about creating network and you, which was the most interesting customer into Bitcoin that you have?
Oh, the most interesting customer. That's like unfair for a question because I would say like all Bitcoiners that are building cool things are fairly eccentric and interesting,
Yeah,
all of them. So it would be pretty difficult to place one under the other. Um, oh no, I just it's hard for me to say. I just learned so much from these people, but yeah, that's I'm kind of stunned by that question.
so
No.
there's a lot of interesting Bitcoiners that are working with you.
Yeah, every like I mean every Bitcoiner is somewhat interesting. So when you get to talk to them and see like their vision and how they think about the world and how we are the same in Bitcoin, but in other things we're very different and stuff like
Yeah,
that. So I mean it's been pretty interesting, especially like for me. I don't know if it's for you as well, but like as a Colombian guy, it's been very enjoyable to be able to make businesses and build stuff with other cultures and get like a more worldwide view of what people are, especially Bitcoiners. Because yeah, I mean here in Colombia we don't really have like a huge push for
yeah,
Bitcoin or some people like it. We're trying to push it. I mean, you do your part, I do my part, right? And they're starting to appear businesses that accept Bitcoin and stuff like that. But it's not like the culture is not as like freedom loving as like American culture, for example.
yeah,
Right? Yeah, these
yeah. I
are
think
hardcore freedom lovers. Yeah.
yeah, I think we have the same thoughts. I think working with American guys, more North American guys like Canadian, and also people from the United States, open your minds. And so you're always thinking what's gonna happen in Latin America, what's gonna happen in Colombia, but there's more places more interesting for Bitcoin than South America. So, well, I want to know about the first question is, do you have in mind maybe a Bitcoiner that you wanted to work with him? Maybe Samson Mao, maybe I don't know Ben Armstrong.
I don't know if I have one that I want to work with. Sorry, I'm so bad like answering these questions. But yeah, I don't know. I think like working with like the most recognized like Bitcoiners, for example, like Adam Back
Yeah,
or
with
Samson
Berta.
Mow, of course, would be super interesting to have the chance to like closely
Yeah,
work with these people that know so much, or even like yeah, someone like, for example, I don't know, Peter McCormack or something
Yeah.
like that is also pretty interesting. I know like Peter sometimes has some thoughts that not everyone likes. Personally, I don't agree with him always. But I mean, like they have done incredible stuff for the space, and it would be amazing to be able to collaborate with someone that has like done so much. And yeah, this just would be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds great. So I can know on your thoughts that you're working with a lot of interesting Bitcoiners who maybe you're just waiting for Peter McCormack to come here and say, hey, why don't you
Yeah,
join team?
exactly. Maybe he comes to Medellin and I'll get to meet him in the
Maybe,
conference.
yeah. That could be interesting for Peter McCormack. We need to make a post about that. So I want to know if you know anything about money on chain. This,
Money on chain?
yeah, that
No.
is basically our protocol, and we
Yeah.
are doing the protocol for money on chain. Basically, we are a Rostock protocol, and we have a decentralized stable coin that is backed fully with Bitcoin, and
Okay.
is right now you is it the people in Mexico is using it for paying taxes, for paying electric things, internet, where receives all the things with dollar on chain. Also in Colombia, we have some ATMs that you can change dollar on chain for Colombian currency. Also, if you want Bitcoin, you can swap it if you don't didn't like so much Rostock, but you are reserving or you are minting Doc, and you can use it easy, and it's better than maybe other stablecoins as USDC or USDT. Maybe what's your thought on that? Or basically, the idea is to have something decentralized. Is a great product, and we are being here for more than 2 years, and we have a lot of adoption in South America and in North America. We are starting. So this is Argentinian protocol, and this is our Argentinian industry. So
Okay.
the guys from Argentina knows about the inflation about and
Yeah,
about money.
that's right. Yeah, that's right. No, yeah, I think, man, like it's a fact that some like there's a big portion of the Bitcoin crowd that doesn't really want to like admit that we kind of need stable coins, but we kind of do, because like for example, like there's a huge amount of people here in like Latin America, South America in general, that are not able to handle like the volatility. Like it's just too much for them. Like an 80% downturn would crush you. 50% downturn would crush you, especially when your life savings are $1,000 and you lose half of it. Like
Yeah,
it's a lot. Maybe if you have $10 million and it goes back to five, you can still sort some stuff out with five
yeah,
million dollars, right? Which is the case of a lot of like American Bitcoiners, which like great for them. Like I'm glad they're millionaires. Like great for them. Go Bitcoiners, right? But the truth is, like for new Bitcoiners here in South America, we need to be able to access some kind of like dollar or like a stable money that is not like Colombian pesos. Because like we need to transact as well, and that's for people we probably save around 20% of our cash flow if we are like disciplined and lucky, and if you don't, it's probably less than that. And most of the things are transactions, money you receive like on Monday to spend on Thursday. So like you put it on Bitcoin, goes down 10%, you're screwed.
yeah,
so there's the fact that we in Latin America we need a way to escape the Colombian peso, the Argentinian peso, the Bolivar. You know, we need to be able to escape that for our daily payments, for our cash flow, and be able to use Bitcoin for that 20%, 30% that we are able to actually save and not touch, and put that in Bitcoin and not care about the price action. But yeah, that's I think that's a good thing. I think I don't know if this product is a good product or is a cheat coin. I'm gonna be honest, like I just learned about it 2 minutes
yeah.
ago. Um, but I do agree we do need some sort of like stable coin here in Latin America to ease the process of adoption of Bitcoin long term.
Yeah, maybe you can get in love with the dollar on chain.
Yeah,
Maybe
maybe.
maybe knowing more about it. Yeah, we have interesting products as the dollar on chain that is basically a stable coin and it's fully decentralized and it's backed. I think I was looking metrics today and I think every $40 into Bitcoin is the back of $1 on chain, so it's fully backed into Bitcoin. There's no method to go it down. And also we have something that is called the BPRO, that is Bitcoin with leverage. So right now, Bitcoin is in 68K, and
Yeah.
Bipro I think it's near to 90K. So I have a lot of leverage. But also, if Bitcoin start going down, Bipro will going down more with more leverage. But I think it's a very good. Will you put Bitcoin into Bipro to maybe get a lot of leverage? Maybe in a very bullish market.
Yep.
Would you do it without thinking?
No, I don't know. I would do it without thinking, but there's always risk, and like
Yeah.
I'm almost 30. Like like the more I grow, more less risk I want to take, and more time I want to like sleep and stuff like that. So if it's
Yeah, you
just
are starting to being more conservative about decisions.
yeah, for sure, for sure. I'm scared to that about like leverage. Because like we've seen so many stories, right?
Yeah,
In the space, so you don't want to be like that person. Like I don't want to say names, but Greg Foss, I think he had like a really bad move. He was like overconfident because he's like a very knowledgeable guy, and like yeah, props to him. He's very smart, and yeah, he just got a little bit confident, and I think he was tweeting he lost like a lot of Bitcoin, like tens of millions of dollars in Bitcoin, and I'm like I don't know if I had tens of millions in Bitcoin, I would still want more tens of millions. Like at some point, at some point, like there's just so many millions you can have. But I mean, it's tough, man. It's the market, it's the human nature.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It seems to be a little bit risky, and I think I'm more younger than you, so I'm thinking so big bros the next week. I want to experiment that leverage. I didn't. I'm actually just using dollar on chain and some rest of Bitcoin. Did you use it sometimes Bitcoin into Rustock?
Bitcoin for what, sorry?
Bitcoin into Rustock. Rustock is like layer two of Bitcoin.
Oh, no, no.
You need to try it. Maybe you can start making some businesses with it. You can
Yeah,
deploy
maybe.
smart contracts in it and having some
You
interesting
should
things.
teach me then. You know.
We could we could introduce you with money on chain. So well,
That's
I wanted to know. I have this interesting question. Um, if I want to be your customer, what I need to do if I wanted to pay with Bitcoin and I want to show you my project, maybe you can give me some ideas about my project, how I can make a better project than my ideas, or what are the steps?
Yeah, so the first thing like that we need to figure out is like are we a good fit for you? Um Sometimes like we are just not, and we just have to point you to a good direction, because at the end of the day we are Bitcoiners, we want to help everyone, even if it's not like business for us. Maybe we can refer you to someone that can like do what you need. Um, but yeah, what we do first is like, well, if you want to hire us, for example, you go to our website, creativenetworklive.com, and you can book a call, go talk to us and be like, hey guys, this is my problem, and we'll sit with you and we'll take a look at your problem and see like what are the ways we can fix it. If we need to make like a creative session with the designers on the side to come up with some options because you're not sure of the direction the project wants to go. Sorry. And Yeah, we go through that process, and like if it makes sense for the client, if we think we can help and we can solve his problem and he's gonna be a happy Bitcoiner, then we go ahead and start the project. And actually we don't charge people until the project is done, unless it's like a project that is like, I don't know, beyond $5,000, where we start like asking for a small deposit. But besides that, we are very careful with the people we work with. We work with companies that we like, and we trust them and they trust us. And I think it always works out great when they are happy and they pay at the end and they got their stuff and everything is in order, and it just feels better for everyone. And I think it's been a great experience, and hopefully we can continue doing that. Yeah.
That sounds great. So the first thing, so I could have my idea, and you guys will help me once I give you the idea, and then we can see
Yeah,
which
we,
will
will-
be
we
my
won't charge
budget.
you. Yeah, exactly. We won't charge you for discussing your idea, discussing your project, and finding out if like we can help you or not. That's completely free. We're happy to do that anytime.
Sounds great. Well, I have maybe it's an interesting question, but also a funny question. Have you ever received maybe a proposal from a shitcoin, maybe on a scam, saying I
Oh
want to
yeah,
make designs, I want to.
yeah, for
You
sure.
receive it?
I don't know if I can name the company. No, no, I
Maybe
won't.
not.
No, no,
Maybe not.
I won't. But yeah, we have received offers for NFTs and ordinals and stuff like that. But to us, it's like very important to, because it's like if we do NFTs and ordinals, like our customers also look like shitcoiners,
Yeah.
Bull Bitcoin, all these great companies that trust us and work with us, uh, they just gonna look bad because like we wanted to make some money on a shitcoin project. So that is not something we do. So we don't like, yeah. If you're listening to this and you're a not Bitcoin project, click off, basically. But yeah,
You
that's yeah.
you will receive people from Bitcoin Rostock that is basically Bitcoin, but there's another it's in another chain.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's always the thing that like receive Ethereum or whatever shitcoin and just like swap it, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, for example, like if there's like some guy with like a coffee shop and he wants to pay for a logo in Dogecoin, that's fine. I'll take the Dogecoin and I'll swap it for Bitcoin instantly, and that's fine. But what I don't want to do is like be paid in crypto for a crypto project,
Okay, nice.
because I feel like I'm part of the rock pool. So, you know what I mean? And I'm not.
Yeah, was so. But would you receive Bitcoin Rostock project as us maybe?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like I said, like I would take
It's only
crypto.
Bitcoin things. So you
Yeah,
only receive Bitcoin companies, Bitcoin projects.
yeah, yeah.
But what
Pretty.
I want to know maybe your thoughts on PNGs or into Bitcoin blockchain. Do you like ordinals or runs or
Man, it's tough. My designers are gonna hate me for this. No, I don't think it's a great idea. I don't think it's a great idea because like that chain was made for transactions, not for like art.
yeah.
Um, I get it. You can use it that way. I mean, no, I'm not gonna say that. But like I get it. You can do it, but it's not like
Yeah.
you should do it. I think if if that project is like really interesting for some people or the artist, or it really has value, I think they should like build it somewhere else, or like fork Bitcoin and just make one chain just for that or whatever. uh, but I think it hurts a lot of people in poor countries, because the thing
Yeah.
is like we have a huge disparity, right? So like when the fees go to $30, 90% of the Bitcoin holders are like they cannot even send money,
Yeah,
right? They cannot pay $30 fees. That's like too much.
yeah,
Uh, so I think that that hurts a little bit the network. But what do I know, man? We do design. Like at the end of the day, nobody knows. Even the smartest people in the space always speculate and say this and that. But like, I do believe like everything is good for Bitcoin. I think at the end of the day, like if it's truly anti-fragile and resilient system, anything you throw at it, it just make it better. So hopefully, nothing breaks it, and we can keep using it, and Bitcoin just keeps getting better. That's
yeah,
my
yeah. I
yeah.
think I have similar talks on it, but I'm a little bit more technical. So I was just talking that with a Bitcoiner some days ago that basically, ordinals is more healthy than stamps. That stamps like from 2016. So and basically they made Uxos, but they left the Uxo open at that. They just spend a lot of space and a lot of fees. So when you make a stem, you're just rising up the fee into blockchain. But also if you use ordinals or runs, maybe it's more healthy. Well, also you're putting stupid things maybe onto Bitcoin. So also I think last year happened that a guy have one ordinal that have value more than 100K dollars, and when he paid in Lightning, fee just take it the Satoshi that have the ordinal. So he sent an ordinal with more than 100K in value just as a fee onto Lightning. So
Oh
he fucked up
wow,
everything.
wow, yeah,
So
it's
someone
crazy.
just is someone
Yeah,
is just having that NFT, that ordinal, just selling it for less than
I,
100K.
I, I should check if I have any rare sats. Like I could use $100,000 for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That is interesting. And maybe in Russtock, Russia have a lot of dApps, so maybe we don't have the same problem as Bitcoin on-chain having NFTs. So I don't like a lot of NFTs. I just like the Pepe NFTs. Maybe as a maybe
yeah,
as a Trump Pepe as yeah. I think
that's
there's one of Venezuela Pepe.
yeah. Yeah, no, I think it's tough for the artists. They making money as an artist is hard. Uh,
Yeah, also.
that's one thing. People don't hire artists like they hire like engineers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So they really have to be creative with this. I mean, obviously, I still think that the NFT is like a grift, but
Yeah, it's like the opportunity for the people who's artists to join into Bitcoin, but also could be a little bit hard.
it's
So
just I haven't seen much of actual art. It seems more of like media you produce to sell
yeah,
instead of actual art. But I could be wrong though. That
yeah.
have anything different.
I think that the artists into Bitcoin don't like it because they know that the competition in NFT things or maybe in songs is like you are competing versus Pepe or versus an ape. So it's a little bit hard to win your pretty design on a Bitcoin blockchain versus an ape with a maybe the Neymar football shirt. So it could
Yeah,
be hard. Yeah, maybe in Tourist they could have an space, and I think have a lot of space to put art and maybe music into it as well, something similar.
yeah,
So well, but you get the idea of the enterprise that access Bitcoin and it's a media, it's a little bit of media, it's a little bit of design company. You're making the artists work into Bitcoin.
yeah,
So
for
you
sure.
and you study for being artist or you are just a manager. You study for being
No,
the manager of the enterprise.
no, I'm not an artist myself. Um, Although I would say that being heavily exposed for 3 years now, it's kind of given me a lot of experience. So there's a lot of things that I can notice now that I couldn't before. But yeah, no, in general, it was more so I saw an opportunity. I saw that people needed help with design, with all this stuff. And I knew designers here in Colombia needed the work. And the
Yeah,
only thing like stopping these two things to coming together was a language barrier and a
Yeah.
payment barrier, right? So we broke the payment barrier with Bitcoin. Very easy, just send me Bitcoin, right? And then allegedly send me Bitcoin allegedly, and then the language barrier, which I break with with my head of design guy, and just with my team that is able to speak English. So like basically we are able to translate the need of the client, communicate to the whole team what we want to accomplish, what we want to do. And then we have this super talented people with 10 years of experience working on projects, doing excellent work at very competitive pricing. I'm not gonna say like it's cheap, because it's really not, but is very competitive in the sense that we are slightly below like market price, but we offer unlimited revisions and a lot of like risk reversal um, policies to like make the client feel sure that this is money well spent and stuff like that. So yeah,
That's a full idea of creative
yeah,
networking.
pretty much, yeah.
So, well, Atlas, thank you so much for coming here and talking with us about your enterprise and maybe some talks on Bitcoin.
Yeah, it was a blast. Hope to see you in Medellin.
I think I'm gonna go in January for the Bitcoin Medellin conference.
Yeah, you wanna see
Mm,
me speak?
I think maybe it's in maybe. Do you mind if can make it in English maybe or in Spanish also? I think I have problem, but maybe there are some American Bitcoiners that are gonna talk as
That's a
soon
good
as
point.
possible.
I don't even know in what language I'm going to be speaking in, but that's gonna be fun for sure.
Yeah, I actually didn't know if it's all in English or all in Spanish because I think that there is a Bitcoiner, Colombian Bitcoiner that doesn't speak English, so I don't know if maybe the man gonna speak in
Oh
English.
wow, that's interesting. Okay, we'll see. We'll
Yeah,
see.
let's see what happens with that. Well, thank you so much, Atlas, for coming here, and hope your enterprise getting bigger into Bitcoin and into Bitcoiners more interesting.
Thank you so much, man. Have a good one.